Hi, I'm Holly, and today I am going to be sharing my favorite foundations with you. I have been trying a lot of foundations lately, and I feel like I could write a freaking book, so I'm going to be sharing with you what I like. Keep in mind that my forehead is oily and the rest of my skin is dry, so when I'm talking about these type of foundations, they will work for my skin. I also use a pore primer. Most of the time I use Benefit. Every now and then I'll use the Cover FX pore primer, or sometimes I'll use a Smashbox primer. I always set my face with the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat powder foundation, and I normally use the shade Nude. So everybody's skin is a little different, and I know some foundations work for other people, but these are just the ones that work for me. All of these foundations are cruelty-free. The only one that's questionable is Almay, because they do claim to be a cruelty-free brand, however they are sold in China. So I'll leave that up to you. So let me tell you a little bit about what I was using first. So for years and years and years and years, I always used the Almay Clear Complexion foundation. Now the old packaging looked something like this. The newer packaging looks a little bit like this. It is now called the Make Myself Clear Complexion Makeup. Now this has acne treatment in it. When I was younger, I had awful acne, so I used this because I wanted it to help my skin rather than make it worse, and this is just what I always used. However, about a year ago, I started noticing that my skin was getting even drier up in this area right here. It worked fine on my forehead, but around this area it was going patchy and it was getting super dry. So by the end of the day, my makeup would just look disgusting. And I was so scared to try another foundation. I didn't want something to break out my skin even worse. I was afraid that I was going to get the wrong color or that it was going to look awful. And I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on something that I didn't like. But I did it anyway, and I tried a whole bunch of foundations. So this is what I found out works best for my skin. So you know, I self-tan a lot, and all of my foundations are in a different shade range because I am tan sometimes of the week and I'm pale other times, so I have different shades of foundation to match whatever my skin looks like at the moment. So I'll be showing you a couple different shades in most of these foundations. So if you watched my favorites video, you know that my top foundation is the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation. It looks like this. Now this foundation costs $13.99 at Ulta, and it comes in a little less than half of a fluid ounce, and it really lasts me just as long as any other foundation would that has a full fluid ounce in it, because you don't have to use as much. A little bit goes a long way. So this is the shade Natural. This is the shade that I use the most. And so Natural looks just like this. Now this foundation is super thin, and when I started using it I was like, there is no way this is going to have any coverage to it, but it really does. It's like shocking how airbrushed it makes your face look. I mean, it doesn't make my lines worse, it really just smooths everything out, makes everything look airbrushed. I could literally use this stuff as concealer and I wouldn't even need to use concealer, but I always use concealer. It really covers up everything. It also smells pretty good, and they have 30 shades in this foundation. And they also have really good undertones. They have a lot of yellow, more pinky undertones, things like that. So I also have the shade Vanilla. This is what I use when I'm a little bit more pale. And then I grabbed the wrong shade one time. So this is the shade Light Ivory. So it's a little bit pinker. It's too pink for my undertone. And then I have a darker shade that I use when I'm really tan. This is True Beige. So those are my shade ranges that I use for that one. I recommend it. I love it so much. I think it's awesome. Another foundation that I love a lot is the ColourPop No Filter foundation. So it looks just like this. Also, I am like super bad with like tops to things, so I've literally lost 90% of the tops to my foundation. Unless it has to be on there, it's not gonna stay on there. So this is the shade Light 65. So on the website it is called the No Filter Natural Matte Foundation. This foundation is $12 and it comes in 42 shades, so that's pretty dang good. It is a little bit under an ounce, so pretty good size for $12. That's awesome. It was really hard for me to find my shade. There's a lot of shades. There's also too many. The only thing about this is like the pump is kind of hard sometimes, like to get out. I have to really like the pump gets stuck. Do you hear that? Like, and like literally nothing's coming out. So this is the shade Light 65. This foundation is also very high coverage. The only thing is it doesn't stay on for me as long as the Total Control Drop Foundation. Every once in a while, if I'm sweating or my face is getting a little oily at the end of the day, it does smear a little bit. But most of the time, it looks beautiful. If you have a little bit of drier skin, that would probably work better. It works better up in this area. Alright, another one of my favorite foundations is the Stila Stay All Day Foundation and Concealer. Now, I have one of the old packaging. This was before they added the concealer on top. Now, this is the current packaging. This is with the concealer on top. So this foundation is $40 and it comes with the concealer on top like this. Super messy. And then the foundation comes out in a pump like this. So you push this down like that and then it comes out the top, which I think it's super easy to use. So the foundation in this is 1 ounce and then the concealer is a little bit less than ½ ounce. I like this concealer. I normally like liquid concealers, but it is a pretty good concealer and I like how it's just simple. You know that it's going to match your shade, so you don't have to worry about finding a foundation and a concealer shade. It's a nice, pretty foundation, but it's so convenient. So when I need something easy to use, I just grab this one. It also stays all day. I'm actually wearing this foundation today. I'm wearing shade Fair 2, and then I also have the shade Light, I think it's Light 3. I think that's what it is. So it's $40, but you get the concealer and the foundation with that. I got it on sale at Ulta for $24, so they do great sales for these. So just get it when it's on sale and you're all set. $24 for foundation. That is a huge sale. That's almost 50% off. Holy cow. I love Stila, and I love their gold packaging. Like, everything is gold. Everything looks the same. Like, this is their mascara. It's just gorgeous. Like, it's just pretty. It's all matte. It doesn't get all gross. The only thing that gets gross is this. What is this mirror gonna do for you? I can't see anything in here. This is the worst mirror ever. I'd rather it not even have it mirrored. I'd rather have like a screw off top or something so it wouldn't get all disgusting. Anyway, so the only bad thing about this is it only comes in 16 shades, which is kind of like, okay, 16 shades, $40, there. So, if you want something a little bit more high-end, that's what I would go with. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys. On my right eye, I'm wearing the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation, and on my left eye, I'm just wearing ColourPop Concealer. So I wanted to show you guys. Instead of putting concealer on this eye, I just wanted to put it on as foundation and see how it wore, and it went on really smoothly, and I like literally didn't even, I mean, it's doing the same thing as my concealer would do, so I'm kind of impressed. Who needs concealer, you know? So concealer, no concealer. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Well, who cares? Blah, blah, blah.